What's up, guys? So I have been trying to get John to write down recipes so I can share with you guys for a long time.
It's long overdue though, because we want consistency in the dishes that we have.
Yes.
You know, like you say all the time, sometimes it's like we have a certain dish and it's like, oh man, that was so good, that was really, really good. And then we have another time and it's like, you know, it's pretty good, but not as good as the last time. And it's just because we don't have any set recipes written down.
Yeah, so when he makes it amazing, he didn't write anything down, so then he can't recreate that exact seasoning measurement thing.
Exactly.
So hopefully that will help us, and hopefully this will help you guys create some healthy meals, so you know that eating healthy doesn't have to be gross, bland, and it can be fun.
Yeah, and this is super simple, basic taco recipe. We're gonna make another video where we show you how to make the pico and the guac the way that I like to make it. But in this one, we're just gonna make the seasoning. We're gonna show you how to,
We're doing chicken and we're doing shrimp.
We're doing chicken and shrimp.
So two separate seasonings.
Yep, two separate seasonings.
Show you what we use.
One is a set seasoning. It's a pre-made seasoning, the seafood one. I haven't really experimented too much with making my own seafood seasonings, but I do like to make my own like Mexican type seasoning for chicken, steak, anytime we have tacos. So we'll show you how to make that. We're just gonna bake it. Normally, actually, I prefer to grill, but I know not everyone has a grill, and we wanna make it as basic as possible, and most people do have ovens, so we're going to bake it in the oven.
Yeah. So let's get into seasoning this meat.
So basically, my philosophy with seasoning, because I never measure anything, I just get my main seasonings that I'm going to use, and then I decide which ones. I start with the ones that are going to make up the most of the seasoning mix and go with that first. The big two ingredients are going to be salt and sugar. Then we also have,
this is for the chicken.
This is the chicken seasoning.
Okay.
Chili powder, paprika, a little bit, and cumin. A lot of it really is a taste test. So you make it, you can add more, seasoning afterwards if you had to. I usually don't. I usually just roll with whatever ends up being and just hope that it turns out well. So like I said, I've never measured, so this is an experiment for all of us. Oh, by the way, the chicken they're skinless thighs. It's what we prefer.
Dark meat.
Basically. Yeah, I think that it has more flavor. I think they taste better. I absolutely hate chicken breasts. Like, I won't eat chicken breast anywhere. I mean, if I have to eat chicken breast, I'll eat it, but I would never order chicken breast.
Yeah.
But not that chicken breast can't be good. It can be good. It depends on, how it's cooked, how it's prepared, how it's seasoned, all that good stuff. So let's start with, you want to go 3 tablespoons?
What do you usually do? You're asking the wrong person,
What do I usually do? I usually
eyeballing
throw all this down and just dump.
Okay, no dumping.
All right.
Just go one at a time and then eyeball what you think it looks like.
Normally we make a little bit more than this. We'll make it like a double batch. We have 6 over here. So I'll go with 1.5 tablespoons of salt.
I don't know.
I really don't. I have a half tablespoon over there, but I'm just gonna fill half this because tablespoon of the coconut sugar. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go 1.5 tablespoons of the coconut sugar.
Okay.
I'm gonna go equal parts salt and sugar.
Okay.
And there's gonna be someone out there.
Are we writing this down? Are we writing this down?
No, but we're recording it, right?
I know, but you want to watch this whole thing to get the recipe good?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind.
Okay.
Next, I would say chili powder and cumin would be the next most prominent. I want a decent amount of these because they're gonna provide that flavor that you identify as like Mexican chipotle. Sorry if my vernacular isn't proper.
I don't know what the word vernacular means, so.
Alright, good. So I did 1 tablespoon of
cumin.
Chili powder, 1 tablespoon of cumin, even though it looks like I went back in. It wasn't quite a tablespoon, so I put a little bit more in. And then I'm just gonna go half tablespoon paprika. Feel free to add less sugar, add less salt. You do you. That's like part of the fun of this whole thing. This is what it looks like when it's mixed up in there and the salt's underneath. That would add like another layer of that. After that, I would just mix it normally. If I'm being completely honest, normally I would just mix it with my finger or I'll just like shake the bowl, but I don't know, for people, I'm gonna use this. So
Even though we're still just cooking for ourselves.
So I don't seem like a savage anymore. So, okay, so I'm looking at this now, and I'm looking at the thighs. We only have 6. Normally we make like a double, so we normally make like 12 at a time. We're doing 6 for, I don't know, I don't know a reason. We
got shrimp too.
Oh, there you go, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. I was just thinking, I was like, am I just gonna stand here and watch you?
No, you're killing it. You're killing it. I need you.
Oh, I'm the sous chef.
Dude, she's so good. She's so good with that stuff. I'm OCD about some weird things. Like, I don't like putting like the raw meat near everything else. So I normally would season on a counter separate from the counter where I have all of my produce. But
I can take this camera over there. How do you season it? Like.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We're doing it. What I was saying earlier that I didn't really finish is that this might be a little too much seasoning for as many thighs, skinless thighs as we have, but I'm not too concerned about that. Under seasoned is worse to me sometimes. It just depends on what you're making. So typically I just use one hand to spread them out because I have OCD. I just grabbed it with my other hand. Also, I've never baked chicken on parchment paper. Most people probably wouldn't bake using parchment paper, but I hate using aluminum. These are like real life type situations. We're not working with like perfect type situations.
Sure.
I think it's gonna end up being too much seasoning, so we can go back to the drawing board and adjust as needed. We'll see how, and this is also an experiment on how chicken makes on parchment paper. So stick with us. It might not be great. We've never done it this way before, and why we chose to do it this way for this, I have no idea. It's my fault. Not Christina's. She's a saint. No, you're great. It's seasoned. I'm just gonna over season it a little, put a little bit more than I normally would. Some people wouldn't want to waste the seasoning. A decent amount left over. Like I said, we don't measure things normally. Here's the thing. So typically, if we're getting shrimp, we almost always get wild caught. It's just supposed to be better than farm raised. And this is farm raised. So with the shrimp, it's super basic. And like I said, we don't make our own seasoning ever or very rarely for seafood. Sometimes, more like for fish.
Frontier Co-op organic seafood seasoning.
Yes, or like your mom probably has Old Bay.
Is it similar to that?
Yeah, similar ingredients.
You can see your reflection in the bowl.
Ish. Gorgeous. For this one, let's go tablespoon, pour it over. You don't have to be cautious. I don't know why I was just sprinkling gently. Like, I'm not gonna take this bowl and just mix everything around. It's actually pretty easy to take the tails off once they're cooked. So we're just gonna do that this time. You can take them off before if it really bothers you that much. This is 1 tablespoon and 1 pound of shrimp, decently seasoned. Personally, I'd like a little bit more seasoning.
Okay, so set the shrimp over there, right?
Yeah.
Now we're just gonna bake them?
Yep.
What are we gonna bake them at?
It's the upper. I just have it at 375 right now. Chicken goes in. Oh, we haven't even turned this on.
35?
Yeah, like 35 might be a little long. At
I don't think you're.
375?
Wow.
I don't think so.
375. Oh shit. Hold on.
No, you're good. 350?
No, I think we do 375.
No, go 350.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, we'll see. I don't really time things either.
I do.
Which
I hate that you don't.
Which pisses her off. I literally just throw things in the oven and I check on it every 5 minutes.
I just remember I had a quesadilla and he didn't check on it and it just turned into
one time in 6 years?
Yeah.
Like, and you're gonna hold that against me?
Yes.
That's gonna bake. The shrimp cooks super quick. We're gonna cook the shrimp on the stove, put them down on one side, flip them probably once, put them in the bowl, let them cool, take the tails off, chop them up, and that'll be it for the shrimp.
While that cooks, we're gonna make some pico and guac. You obviously, to make tacos, don't need to make homemade salsa and guacamole,
Correct.
but we thought it would be fun, and John makes really good guac. I don't think I've ever had your homemade pico, so we'll see. So we just took quick intermission to make the pico and guac. If you haven't already watched that video, check it out. I'll link it down below.
We tried them.
End of this video.
We tried them.
Really
Normally
good.
we let them set, and actually it turned out pretty solid.
Turned out very good. So definitely go check that one out if you're interested in making your own guac or pico. And the chicken is done. We cooked it on 375 for 30 minutes exactly, and I think it's good. Doesn't look too dry, and it doesn't look...
Typically what I do is I just watch it while I'm baking it. So then right now I'll cut into it. These are pretty even throughout, so you don't have to really worry about uneven cooking as much. Yeah, these turned out pretty well. Maybe a little drier than I'd prefer them. I'm half Dominican, and Dominicans, for whatever reason, love to cook their meat to death. So if I was making these for some of my family members, I would make it bone dry. Otherwise, they will throw it in the microwave and nuke the shit out of it.
That happened like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it happened a couple weeks ago. So then we're gonna chop this up. We haven't tried it yet. Try this?
No. Delicious.
Wait.
You're supposed to feed me, that's what marriage is.
Oh, Tuck, come here, buddy.
Ooh.
Come on.
Isn't that too much seasoning for him?
What? This? No.
You better not get the shit. It's weird guy, we kill you.
Good boy. What do you think of the flavor?
Tuck says he loves it. He just licked his lips.
Alright, what does the human being think of the flavor?
Okay, he's waiting so patiently.
Oh, you're a good boy.
Oh my god, he's so good. He gets nervous on camera. What?
Dude,
Okay,
talk
sorry.
to me.
What's up?
What are your thoughts on the seasoning?
I think it's really good.
30 minutes at 375. I'd say that's this is like a little bit of a thicker thigh. I'd say that's damn near perfect. That's the chicken. It's solid. It's solid. Maybe some of the pieces that were a little thinner are a little dry for my taste, but the thicker ones are juicier and taste pretty good. Now we have to cook the shrimp. I'm gonna opt for olive oil. Don't put a ton. Don't put too little.
I'd say like a teaspoon and a half. Tablespoon?
Tablespoon.
All right, tablespoon. There we go.
I'm assuming that's a tablespoon. That's normally just how I do things. I was gonna grab them one by one and put them down nicely, but that's not how I normally do it. Typically, I just do this. Like Cristina said, they're turning pink, so you can tell. You don't want to use a pan that's too small, because then you end up with a situation like the one that I'm currently in, where you're gonna flip, but you're not gonna have enough space for all of them to get cooked evenly. I'm throwing a top on. The steam will help to cook it a little bit more, hold in some more of the heat, cook a little bit faster. You don't want to cook shrimp that long.
Wow. It's gotta
All right.
be quick as hell.
30 seconds of top, and it looks like they're pretty much there.
Yum.
So they're gonna keep cooking while they're in this hot pan. So these shrimp cooked for about 2.5 minutes. Take them off the heat. I want them to get to the point where they're cool enough to where we can take the tails off. AKA Cristina can take the tails off, and then I'll chop them all up, throw them in here, and then we will make our tacos. Nice and easy. I'm gonna let Cristina finish that up, and I'm gonna chop these up real quick. I don't think it's gonna be, hopefully it's not too much seasoning, even though I prefer it that way. I know Cristina prefers a little less. So yeah, these are cooked.
My mouth just starts freaking burning. Can't help it.
Here, show them. Fine.
Yeah.
All right. Little shrimp like this, I'll cut them into threes. I wouldn't cut the shrimp too small, personally. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could finely chop it and really make it more like a ground shrimp taco type thing.
Ew.
But it just depends on, no, it wouldn't be you, it'd be fine.
Ground shrimp? That sounds terrible. I feel like the best part of shrimp is like, I don't know, I love like the texture and like.
Well, if you love the texture as much as my wife does,
don't grind it.
Don't finely chop or grind it, but I think that it's an interesting option and I've explored it and I will continue to mess around with it and experiment going forward. Get all this chopped up. So we have our proteins chopped up. We have our pico, we have our guac. The last part of this process, the cooking, chopping, prepping process, would be the tortillas. A lot of people, you don't have to, they're cooked tortillas. You can just eat them right away. You don't even have to heat them up, that's fine. Even the cooked ones, I prefer to throw on the stove for 15 to 30 seconds-ish, just to get them like warm and they're softer and they're chewier and it's a lot better. So we have a couple of types of tortilla here.
This is like our, I feel like our go-to that we just kind of like grabbed. I like flour.
It's like a standard flour. These ones, I found, they don't have these at Whole Foods, but they had these at Kroger. They're the Mission, they're organic, they're uncooked tortillas, only 5 ingredients. I had them last week when Cristina was in Mexico, but these ones taste really, really fucking good. Like, I like these a lot.
That's probably what we're gonna use tonight.
That's what we're gonna use, that's what I'm gonna use tonight. And I'm gonna try this one just because one of Christina's friends slash Paragon.
Katrina, College Clean Eating.
College Clean Eating. She said she was a slut for these. So
they must be good.
I also wanna see if I could also be a slut for these.
This one's made, so they're like grain free. And this is the first time I've actually even like noticed these. And they're non-GMO, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and vegan. But they have like a bunch of different types of flours. Like what were the options? Like there was almond, there was cashew, there was chickpea, and then
cassava?
Cassava?
Yeah, I'm
I don't know what
I'm
that
not
is.
even sure what that is. I'm being completely honest. So.
But yeah, we chose chickpea. So I'll try these. I'm gonna have actually, I might have one of these, and then I just want to try them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it too. Well, let's start with 2 tacos each, right?
Yeah.
I'll probably end up having like 6. You wanna start with these ones?
Sure.
We're gonna try these ones first because we've never had them.
So the chickpea ones, right?
The chickpea, siete, the slut ones.
Slut ones, all right. Slut tortillas.
Slut tortillas. So, which there's nothing wrong with that. So, you know, be you.
Well, you just put it on the grill. Like, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Yeah, we overdid it a little. It was probably like 25 seconds. We'll do a little bit less on this other side. There you go, toasted, super simple tortilla. It's something that's super basic, but a lot of people don't do, like growing up. Let's make a quick chicken taco.
Tell us how you would make your ideal taco. Do you need sour cream? You don't put sour cream on yours.
I'm not a sour cream fan, really. Actually, I love sour cream, but for some reason, I'm just not a big sour cream fan in tacos. Cristina loves it. So you can make your taco however you want. Some people like extra meat, some people will go more pico heavy, guac heavy.
Make your taco how you want it, babe.
Huh?
Just make your taco.
Dude, you gotta talk to people because people end up thinking like, oh, well, if I don't do it this perfect way, and there's no perfect way. You just do it however the fuck you want to do it. And if you like it, keep doing it. And if you don't like it, change it.
True. You're right.
Do what you want to do.
You're right.
So these are kind of small, so I'm just gonna put like a small portion of the chicken. I'm gonna go some guac. I didn't go to culinary school, so I'm not a great plater.
Which is important.
Which is important to some people. I don't care.
Oh, we don't have a restaurant.
I care much more about how the food tastes. So
next is the pico. Yum.
Throw that on there. I tried to be like nice and put it on the other side. Shit didn't work. That's fine. This is fucking real life. These two, if you're in Michigan, the Brinery, I think it's in Ann Arbor actually. Super, super solid hot sauces. Cholula is a classic. Louisiana is typically more like, people would use it more on like chicken and stuff or Tabasco, but I actually really like Tabasco on Mexican food. When I get my Chipotle bowls, I always use Tabasco, and I know Tabasco is what Chipotle uses themselves, but I really like Tabasco, so I'm gonna go a little Tabasco. Yeah, and this is my taco. This is how I would do this. You could garnish it with cilantro, but because we have cilantro in the pico and cilantro in the guac, we're not gonna do that this time. I put hot sauce on it now, so Christina's probably not gonna eat it. So you're gonna have to like take my word for it, roll it up.
Drip, drip. Delish, huh? He hates saying his own food is good, but it's delicious.
It's good.
It is.
It's pretty good.
Yay.
These are actually, these tortillas are a lot better than I thought.
Oh yeah, that's chickpea. Oh my gosh.
It's a chickpea one.
It's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Katrina was right.
Katrina's right. Are you a slut for it though?
I'll let you know if I'm a slut by the time I finish. So, this is super basic taco recipe. All in all, we'll put cook time and everything in there, like what we think it would actually take to prep and cook everything, but it really doesn't take that long. And if you have, you know, 2 people, especially if you're a couple or you have roommates or you live with your siblings or anything like that, it would go a lot quicker if different people are doing different things. Maybe one person does the guac, one person does the pico, one person does the meats. It would go really quickly, easily less than, with cook time, I would say including cook time, under an hour.
Yeah.
To make this.
I agree. We weren't explaining everything. It'd be a lot
If you
faster.
had the seasoning made ahead of time, you can make the seasoning quick and then just throw the chicken in there. I mean, that would be, it would take 5 minutes or less to make the seasoning and season the chicken, put it on the baking sheet, throw it in the oven. So that's gonna be the most time consuming. The shrimp, as you saw, that shrimp is completely cooked. That was under 3 minutes. These are just chopping and mixing. So very basic, you know, very flavorful, good taco option. Hot sauces, you know, garnish as you like. We never use lettuce, but people really like lettuce, obviously, on tacos. You can make like a corn salsa. Maybe we'll do a video on that, but you could add cheese. I'm not really a big cheese person.
That's all I used to have in my tacos was literally meat and cheese.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Maria and Josh would have. My sister was over here right now. I actually made them tacos last week, and she crushed like 6 of them with the same seasoning. And she's just a chicken and cheese, super basic type person.
So, those are our healthy homemade tacos. I feel like we're gonna get questions about the macros of these, but don't track them. I know what you're gonna say about macros. Just hold it in. Macros help me a lot get like a healthy idea of how much I should be eating for like fitness goals and stuff. But this is a good balanced meal of micronutrients. You have all like your vegetables and everything, and then you have the protein and your carbs from your tortilla. You could do a low carb tortilla, or you could do no tortilla at all and just make it a bowl or something. So I apologize I don't have the macros. If you wanted to put the macros in, you could put the recipe in MyFitnessPal or something, and it will kick out exactly the macros that you're eating. So thank you guys for watching.
Chickpea flour it's surprisingly good. I didn't expect them to be as good as they are. They're really solid.
Good.
Really solid. Chickpea flour siete.
Again, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if you want to see more of them. Thank you to my awesome husband for cooking this delicious meal.
Let us know what you want us to cook.
Yeah, let us know.
This is very basic.
Yeah. So many people wanted tacos though, so we're like,
dude, it was like vast majority. Like
yeah.
vast majority asked about tacos.
Maybe we'll think about like an Italian dish or like a healthy pasta or something.
Yeah, I mean, I make my own homemade Alfredo. I make my own homemade marinara.
God.
So we can do those. Sorry, Italians. I put onion in my marinara.
Gosh.
I know that it's not like
Okay, all right, we're gonna wrap this up. All right, thank you guys again, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.